To remove the tint, you're going to need a heat gun. Now, I would suggest that you do this on a warm day when it's quite warm outside. When I was doing this, it was at least 20 degrees outside, which is unusual for Irish weather, but it was the perfect way to get it done, so combining that with the heat gun made this process a lot easier. You also want to make sure that when you're using the heat gun, once it's operational, that you don't hold it too close to the lights, as with the plastics on the light you don't want to damage them. So you want to make sure that you hold the heat gun at least a couple of inches away and just keep touching it with your hand until it gets warm enough, and that way you'll know then when it's ready to remove the tint. Also make sure to have the heat gun set at its lowest setting, as it's going to be warm enough to do what is necessary.
Right, so all I need you to do is just...
So just take your time when doing this process and make sure to just gradually heat the top part of the tint as you're taking it off, just to make it come off a lot easier. And then once you've done that and you've removed the tint from the light cluster, it's a case of just rinsing and repeating for the rest of the steps. Even the same process can be used with taking off stickers and even windscreen tint as well, which we'll get to later in the video. Again, just make sure to take your time with this process, as there's no rush, as it would be the best way for you to remove the tint adhesive all in one go without any issues. You can use the same process as before with the heat gun to remove any stickers. You want to make sure that you hold the heat gun not too close to the windscreen, but at least a couple of inches back, just enough to heat the windscreen up. And then what you will use is you'll use a razor blade to just make a start on peeling off a portion of the sticker itself, as you can see here. And from there, it's just a case of once you've removed enough of it, then you can peel the rest of it back, and then you can tidy up any of the remaining debris or adhesive that's left on the screen with the blade itself, but just make sure to take your time with it, because you don't want to scratch the windscreen. If you have any tint material on the inside of your windscreen, you can pretty much use the same processes that we've shown here in the video. Now in this case I'm only removing a portion of the tint from the front windscreen. If there's tint on the back windscreen, which luckily enough there wasn't on my car, but you want to make sure that you don't damage the metal strips that go across the back of the window, that they missed the window itself, so you need to be mindful of that as well. Now there are loads of other methods. If you look at other YouTube videos, there's easier methods and even other types of tricks that you can use as well, but for this here it's just a case of just following the same steps. So when you've heated up the windscreen enough, you can use the razor blade just to cut into a portion of the tint film itself, just enough so that you can get a grip on it, because it still should be hot. And the fact is, with it being a hot day, at least 20 degrees outside, the windscreen will be warm enough anyway. Now you can use the heat gun to also aid in the process of just making it a wee bit easier. So just take your time, like with everything else. It will come off, you just have to just be patient with it, and then just continue with the steps until you've removed all of the tint from the windscreen itself.